Once upon a time in a small village named Kijiji, the village was known for its vibrant culture, but most of all, for its legendary drummer, Jabali. Jabali's drumming was magical. It could make the rain fall, the wind blow, and even the trees dance. Every evening, the villagers gathered around the fire to listen to his rhythms. But one night, after a particularly powerful performance, Jabali vanished without a trace. The villagers searched everywhere, but he was gone. Yet, the drum beats continued to echo through the night. The villagers were baffled. How could the drum beats continue if Jabali was gone? The beats were faint at first, but as the days passed, they grew louder and more intense. Some villagers claimed they heard the beats coming from the forest, while others swore they emanated from the mountains. Fear and curiosity gripped Kijiji. The elders decided to send a group of brave men to investigate the source of the mysterious drumming. Among them was Sali, Jabali's best friend and apprentice, who was determined to find out what had happened to his mentor. Sali and the search party set out at dawn, armed with machetes and torches. The forest was dense and dark, with strange sounds echoing through the trees. As they ventured deeper, the drum beats grew louder, guiding them like a beacon. Sali felt a strange connection to the beats, as if they were calling out to him. The group pressed on, following the rhythm, until they reached a clearing. In the center stood an ancient tree, its roots twisted and gnarled. The beats seemed to be coming from within the tree itself. The tree was unlike anything they had ever seen. Its bark was covered in strange symbols, and its branches reached out like skeletal fingers. The drum beats were now deafening, resonating from the tree's hollow trunk. Sali approached cautiously, feeling a strange pull towards the tree. As he touched the bark, the beat suddenly stopped, and the forest fell silent. Then the voice, deep and resonant, spoke from within the tree. "Only the chosen one can unlock the secret of the drums," it said. Sali realized that he was the chosen one, and his journey was far from over. The voice instructed Sali to find the sacred drum, hidden deep within the forest. The drum was said to hold the power of the ancestors and could reveal the truth behind Jabali's disappearance. Sali knew he had to continue alone. The search party, terrified by the talking tree, decided to return to the village. Sali, armed with only his courage and a small drum, ventured further into the forest. The drum beats started again, guiding him. He felt a mix of fear and excitement, knowing that he was on a path that would change his life forever. After hours of walking, Sali reached a hidden cave, its entrance covered in vines. The drum beats were now so loud that they seemed to shake the ground. Sali entered the cave, his torch casting eerie shadows on the walls. In the center of the cave, he found the sacred drum. It was larger than any drum he had ever seen, with intricate carvings and a surface that shimmered like gold. As he approached, the drum beats stopped, and the cave was filled with an eerie silence. Sali knew that he had to play the drum to uncover its secrets. Sali took a deep breath and struck the sacred drum. The sound was unlike anything he had ever heard. It was deep, resonant, and filled with power. As the beat echoed through the cave, the walls began to glow, revealing ancient paintings that told the story of the ancestors. The paintings depicted a great battle, a powerful curse, and a prophecy about a drummer who would save the village. Sali realized that Jabali's disappearance was linked to this prophecy. He knew he had to continue playing to uncover the full story. As Sali continued to play the sacred drum, he was suddenly transported into a vision. He saw Jabali, standing in the middle of a storm, playing his drum with all his might. The beats were so powerful that they created a vortex, pulling Jabali into another realm. Sali watched in horror as his mentor disappeared. But before the vision ended, Jabali looked directly at him and said, "Find the 3 keys to unlock the portal and bring me back." Sali was shaken but determined. He knew what he had to do. The vision revealed that the first key was hidden in the Cave of Echoes, a place known for its treacherous paths and deadly traps. Sali left the cave and headed towards the mountains. where the Cave of Echoes was said to be located. The journey was grueling, with steep cliffs and narrow paths. As he approached the cave, he heard the drum beats again, guiding him. The entrance was guarded by a large stone statue, its eyes glowing red. Sali knew he had to find a way past the statue to retrieve the first key. Sali approached the statue cautiously, unsure of how to proceed. Suddenly, the statue came to life, its stone body creaking as it moved. Only those who can answer the riddle may pass. It boomed. Sali's heart raced as the statue posed the riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I? Sali thought hard, remembering the stories Jabali used to tell. An echo, he exclaimed. The statue stepped aside, allowing him to enter the cave. Inside the cave, Sali was surrounded by endless tunnels, each one echoing with the sound of his footsteps. The drum beats guided him, but the echoes made it difficult to determine the right path. Sali remembered Jabali's teachings about listening to the heart, not just the ears. He closed his eyes and focused on the drum beats, letting them lead him. After what felt like hours, he reached a small chamber. In the center was a pedestal, and on it lay the first key, a small, intricately carved drumstick. With the first key in hand, Sali felt a surge of hope. The vision had shown that the second key was hidden in the Lake of Reflections, a mystical lake said to reveal one's true self. Sali made his way to the lake, which was located deep within the forest. The water was crystal clear, reflecting the sky above. As he approached the shore, the drum beats started again, but this time, they were accompanied by a soft, melodic voice. To find the key, you must face your deepest fear, the voice said. Sali looked into the lake and saw his reflection, but it was not the same. His reflection was older, weary, and filled with regret. It spoke to him, revealing his deepest fears: failure, loss, and the fear of not being good enough. Sali realized that he had to confront these fears to retrieve the second key. He took a deep breath and stepped into the lake, feeling the cold water envelop him. As he submerged, he felt a strange calmness, and when he opened his eyes, he was holding the second key, a small, glowing drum. The vision had shown that the final key was hidden in the Temple of Shadows, a place shrouded in darkness and mystery. Sali knew that this would be the most challenging part of his journey. He made his way to the temple, which was located on the edge of a cliff overlooking a vast abyss. The temple was ancient, with crumbling walls and a foreboding aura. As he entered, the drum beats grew louder, but so did the sense of dread. Sali knew he had to be brave. The final key was within his reach. Inside the temple, Sali was surrounded by darkness. The only light came from the glowing drum in his hand. The walls were covered in ancient symbols, and the air was thick with the scent of incense. As he ventured deeper, he encountered a series of traps, each one more deadly than the last. He used his wits and the guidance of the drum beats to navigate through them. Finally, he reached the inner sanctum, where the final key was kept, but guarding it was a shadowy figure, a manifestation of his doubts and fears. The shadowy figure was a mirror image of Sali, but darker, more menacing. It spoke in a voice filled with malice, trying to convince him that he was not worthy of the final key. Sali felt a surge of doubt, but he remembered Jabali's words, "The power of the drum comes from within." He took a deep breath and began to play the glowing drum. The beats were powerful, filling the temple with light. The shadowy figure began to dissolve, its form breaking apart until it was gone. Sali reached out and took the final key, a small, golden drumhead. With all three keys in hand, Sali returned to the sacred drum. He placed the drumstick, the glowing drum, and the golden drumhead on the drum, and as he did, the drum began to glow with a brilliant light. The beats started again, but this time, they were different, more powerful. The air around him shimmered, and the portal began to open. Sali knew that this was the moment he had been waiting for. He stepped through the portal, feeling a rush of energy as he was transported to another realm. Sali found himself in a strange, otherworldly landscape. The sky was a deep purple, and the ground was covered in shimmering, silver grass. In the distance, he saw Jabali, standing on a hill, playing his drum. Sali ran towards him, but as he got closer, he realized that Jabali was trapped in a bubble of energy, his drum beats keeping the bubble intact. Sali knew he had to break the bubble to free his mentor. He began to play the sacred drum, the beats resonating with Jabali's, creating a powerful rhythm. The beats from the sacred drum and Jabali's drum merged, creating a symphony of sound that shook the very fabric of the realm. The bubble of energy began to crack, and with one final, powerful beat, it shattered. Jabali was free. He looked at Sali with a mixture of pride and gratitude. "You have done well, my apprentice," he said. "But we must return to our world, for the village is in danger." Sali nodded, and together they stepped back through the portal, returning to the cave where the sacred drum lay. Sali and Jabali emerged from the cave to find the village of Kijiji in chaos. The drum beats that had guided Sali had also awakened an ancient evil, a dark spirit that had been trapped for centuries. The spirit was now wreaking havoc on the village, and the villagers were terrified. Jabali and Sali knew that they had to use the power of the drums to defeat the spirit. They began to play together, their beats creating a powerful rhythm that filled the air. The spirit, unable to withstand the power of the drums, was banished back to the realm from whence it came. The village was saved, and Sali was hailed as a hero. Jabali, proud of his apprentice, knew that the legacy of the drums would live on, and so the drum beats of Kijiji continued, a reminder of the power of courage, determination, and the unbreakable bond between mentor and apprentice.